Well, today I'm going to give some final advice around racing Ironman this weekend, and perhaps for those people lining up for Cairns or Worlds. First thing I'm going to say is basically keep things familiar. Don't go changing things race week. And the old idea, nutrition-wise, that you should gorge yourself on high GI the night before the race, to me is flawed logic. Just don't do it, right? You'll just wake up in the morning with a gut in distress, bloated and feeling distended, and it's not fun. So you can eat a little more carb if you need to, but don't stray too far away from your normal diet. That's my advice. And that way you're not setting yourself up for a nasty surprise on race morning when you spend half your time looking for a loo or feeling like you need to be doubled over or twice the weight that you normally are. So you go and you have a normal breakfast. Stay with your normal breakfast like you always do. Don't go making wholesale changes. Eat and give yourself a few hours to digest it, and stick with what you know. But stay right away from doubt, which means you stay away from doubtful actions, which means don't change things. You don't need to. You know, if you want a reasonable expectation, then go with what you already know. Don't make changes that are going to bring you into doubt. And, you know, psychologically, I've spoken about this one enough for race day. Stay grounded. Give yourself plenty of time to warm up. Don't overthink things. Everything is as it is. Don't go wishing things were different. Accept what you can, let go of what you can't control. And flow is a product of go, right? So you attract what you resist. So we need to be careful of what it is that we're attracting. When we are in resistance to those things that challenge us, we manifest more of the same. So you don't have to change anything. You don't have to change the things the way things are. Just let them be as they are and make the best progress that you can from a place of reality and a place of presence. Because if you think repetitively, or if you need to think repetitively, think about your intention for the day, your will for that day, what it took to get here, and above all, the gratitude that you have for being here, because gratitude is a magnificent agent for transforming resistant and negative thoughts into something that's actually helpful, something that's actually going to feed into your matrix for that day, that's going to help you with your process. And the last thing you want to be doing during an Ironman is thinking about how long this journey is. So we need to break it up into small pieces. First buoy, first turn, the swim straight, the next turn, halfway, straight, turn, end. And it's the same on the bike, same on the run, small pieces. The runs, let's say 26 times 2 kilometers, you can use the aid stations to break it down into small races. The more present you are with each piece, the easier the thing's going to be. So breaking it down into small races breaks it down into a more present-based way of dealing with what's happening. Because I'm telling you, once the gun goes off, the bullshit stops. Remind yourself of that and remain calm. When the mind creates a story, gently guide it back to the present moment. You're not a victim, nor are you a story. Stay with what actually is and deal with things as they appear for you, not before they happen and not after they happen. Deal with things as they happen. And I mean, it's an Ironman, right? It ain't easy. I mean, don't expect it to be any particular way. It is what it is, you know. An expectation can carry a heavy burden and a heavy weight. Be mindful that the path to your best race lies in your ability to stay with each piece of this puzzle that's unfolding for you right now. Not 1 second before and not 1 moment after. So when things get tough, as they invariably will, then you need to be ready to roll with the punches, right? And when you've trained well, you simply have trained yourself to suffer faster, not less. People think when they're fit that they won't suffer. Yes, you will. Yes, you should. Facing and accepting That's your chance for real growth as an athlete. Facing that and accepting that. You will suffer. Why not suffer faster? Why make yourself a victim of it? And sometimes you have to kick your own ass out of the hole. I mean, the monotonous tone of the passing kilometers can help you progress if you allow the apathetic mind to follow it. If you let the mind to go to sleep. Once the excitement's worn off and you're battling the fatigue demon, it's easy to let your mind descend into a hole. You know, and then once that happens, you're kicking stones. And before you know it, you're losing time hand over fist. It's a mental hole. And this is the point where you have to ask yourself a question, right? If I was 30 minutes from home now, would I feel different? And invariably, the answer would be yes, you would, because you'd be close to the end. You'd have more energy than you believe. And belief is the problem here, right? Because the mind's telling you a story about how tight it is, and it isn't true. And this is where you have to dissect your story from the commitment that you made to yourself. Because the story will come. It's a long way. It's tiring. There will be fatigue. And the question is now, do I want it bad enough to overcome this belief that I've got going in my head? You know, what was the commitment I made to myself? The energy in the commitment, the will to be fully with what I committed to. So having that commitment hold more sway than the fatigue I'm feeling here in this moment. And what am I going to do? I'm going to allow that commitment to circle back and connect me to this process so that I can stay with it to the finish line, so that I don't have to let the story run the show. It's a choice. It's a choice of acceptance or resistance. It's that simple. And you have to make it again and again and again, over and over and over, all day long, like a mantra, because that's the only thing that can change your mind. Best of luck.